the more I'm looking at this Sermon on the Mount, the more I'm enjoying it. You realize that God brought Israel out of Egypt and betrothed them to himself. He said, now you're my special treasure. You belong to me. It's like we're getting married. And on Sinai, he manifested his glory, his power, his presence, fire and lightning and thunder, and saying, you're mine now. And then, because he's holy, he's saying, look, this is how I am, and this is how I want you to be. He's not like a headmaster, sort of punctiliously looking to tick every box. It's like, hey, if we're going to be in relationship, I'm a holy God. I want you to be a holy people. And gave them what we call the Ten Commandments. And of course, they're wonderful values. And this one, you shall not kill. I mean, yeah, obviously, horrendous thought to destroy another life. And then Jesus, in the New Covenant, gathers his disciples on the mountain and begins to talk out the New Covenant and the values he wants amongst his people, and gets under the skin of you shall not kill, and amazingly really says you should not be angry. It's an extraordinary statement, and puts anger out. It says, no, I don't want anger. It's not just actually destroying a life, it's this resentment that grows and sometimes spills over in fury towards your brother. Now, we're living in days of extraordinary expressions of anger. The culture, whether it's the Brexit thing in the UK with shouting and screaming and fury on the streets, or whether it's the American election, there's never been quite such public anger, and that can get into the church. And the church, you can find these resentments between people who, he's a Calvinist, he's Arminian, and almost justifying themselves because, well, I'm right, you're wrong. And, hey, this is the family of God. This is his house. And Jesus is saying, hey, I'm not having that. I don't want that. I don't want you to have those attitudes. And if you say, you fool, he says, you're effectively killing that person off. You're saying you are of no significance. You're a fool. I ignore you. I kind of put you out of existence. You're a numbskull. And God hates it. God has made men and women in his image and his likeness. And he wants us to have respect for people made in the image and likeness of God. And just to reject people as a fool and to utter those words. Sometimes the tragic, destructive power of words spoken, even parents to children, you fool. Kids take for years to get free from the power of those words. And even in marriage between husband and wife, so tragic, so horrible. And Jesus is inviting us to a much better place. He doesn't want believers. It's unacceptable for believers to write off other believers, to have attitudes of anger spilling over in harsh words. It's not on. Or to have resentment under the surface. No, come and bring it to God. Deal with this issue. Jesus said there's no point bringing your worship to God if you've got this in your heart. We need to deal with it, beloved. God wants a glorious church full of love and mercy and kindness. God hates these attitudes that dishonors people, doesn't give them credibility. It's like just write people off. And he said it's like murder. God have mercy on us. Let's be thorough. Anybody you've got a bad attitude to, let me encourage you, thoroughly seek God and get over it by his grace. Find his mercy and give away mercy.